Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Oh, now Miller slow in getting up. He's still down on the ground. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Harris. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So here are the Broncos backed up to start their initial drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
He's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for Williams a week ago, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Here we go with Williams, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this one down near the 15. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working with a 2nd and 4. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. A first down and more for Jacobs. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
2nd and 5. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll look to throw here. They'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They go with Jacobs. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Well, these two teams hooking up for the 2nd time this year. They first met back in October, week 7, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And a run with Jacobs on 1st down going nowhere as he stopped well behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs down to the 30 after a gain of 3. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They overload him that time on the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
How about that one? The so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it, when you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. He'll look to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Elliott is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught. Judy. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run on first down. Gibbons. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's complete. Okuebuna. Touchdown, Broncos. Albert O. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots, because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in-the-hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
84 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Working with 2nd and 5 now. They'll set up a throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll look to throw again. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders have retaken the lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And the lead is now 2. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
McPherson's kick is good. And with that, they'll take a 1-point lead here in the second. So as it turns out, a 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter of play. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And got his man complete. 20. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Jerry Judy, an even 90 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. 1-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day, because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. No gain on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This will be fielded at the 17. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Here comes Hamler on the jet sweep. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And yep, indeed, the flag is out. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Manning. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
98 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Moreno. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
2nd and 6. And Waller taking it in over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
On 1st down, Gibbons. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibbons. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 6 yards left on second down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will make this now an 18-point ball game.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And we will not see a run back here from Harris.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wild card spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes...
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They run it again with Williams. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. And quickly into the hands of Waller. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. They'll set up to throw. He gets it complete to Harris.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 35. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're... And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Good job.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. But he's got his target, Harris. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 21. Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On 1st down, Gibbons. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Denver, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,